Recording. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let me clear out a few of my tabs because it is looking crazy in my browser right now. All right. Welcome aboard, everybody, to your U.S. History 1302 course, Minimester. So, whoo, here we go. All right. Let me share the screen. And Karina, anytime you have questions, just hop on the mic and let me know. All right, so I'm assuming you can see the screen. Let me know, Karina, if you can't. Okay. Okay, here's the course, 1302. There's a little American flag here, some nice Roman columns at the Capitol. So here we go. All right, so first thing you want to do, if you haven't done so already, is open up Start here, check out the syllabus. I'll go ahead and open it on up. Excellent. And you can hear me okay? Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so got the syllabus open. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Here are my office hours. Let's see. Yeah, these are still working. Just to let you know, though, I'm pretty much available whenever you guys. Well, I'm available during kind of normal time, reasonable hours, anytime you guys need me. Basically, going to the home page here. Please only contact me through Pronto for a variety of reasons. One, it's an app that is on my phone. Please put it on your phone as well. There's settings in there where you can turn it off at nighttime if you don't want to be disturbed and all of that. That's what I do. Yeah, the reason why is if you send me a message here, I'll get to it eventually. But I'm teaching quite a few courses this semester. That's not your problem, but it does affect you in this way that I might not check this course for a day or two, right? And the only way I know if you have messaged me is if I'm in the course and there'll be a little red 1, 2, or 3, how many messages I get here, right? And you might have a question, most probably that you have a question that you need addressed within the day, if not sooner, right? So this is the best place, right? Typically, I'm available early morning through about 8 o'clock. So between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., I typically turn my phone off. Don't let that prevent you from getting a hold of me, though. I'll get back to you as soon as I wake up in the morning, or if I'm not able to in the morning, I'll get back to you sometime that day. And then with that said, if about 24 hours goes by, a little sooner, right, but no more than 20, and I haven't gotten back to you, please get back to me, right? I'm not in the habit of ignoring my students at all. So, if I don't get back to you, I might have got a deluge of messages and yours got lost in the shuffle. I meant to get back to you, but I just didn't. Or it's technology, and sometimes, very rarely, it can fail, right? So I won't find it rude. I will not find it pushy. Just send me a little reminder that you have a concern or a question. Okay, so in the Start Here folder, let's see. I'll get to the syllabus in a second. Do pay attention to these writing guidelines. You don't this hyperlink right here, how to prepare for a lecture exam. Since this is a mini-mester, I did take the lecture exams out of the curriculum. It would just be too much. There's enough already for the time that you have going forward. So feel free to ignore that, but don't ignore what's down below here, right? So when taking notes and responding to short answer questions, discussions, or learning objectives, right? Just basically anytime a written response, right? Be sure to provide specific, relevant examples from the assigned text, videos, audio files, primary sources, whatever the content is. Quote, paraphrase, bring in the dates and the events, right? So what trips up students is typically they'll just give me descriptive responses. That's a great way and a necessary way of opening up your written response, but you want to follow it up with the specifics from the content, right? You'll still get credit if it's just descriptive and accurate, more or less, but grades are a spectrum, and the students that typically are earning 80 to 90 percentiles are students that are providing an enriched response, right? That include these kinds of things: dates, geography, like where did this event happen? Did it happen in Pennsylvania? Did it happen in San Francisco, Chicago? Was it Florida? That, whatever, right? Specific individuals. Who are we talking about here, right? Try to avoid words like they, right, or this general kind of description. If you're talking about Native Americans or Europeans or whatever the case is, the Japanese, right, when we talk about World War II, the Germans, right, who are you talking about? Be specific, right? So if you're talking about Native Americans, are you talking about the Cherokee, Lakota, right? Be specific with the type of people you're talking about. Any kind of events, laws, protests, strikes, massacres, speeches, all of the stuff that makes history compelling and interesting and tragic, right? Include that when it's relevant within your response to any question or prompt, right? So do let me know if you have any questions about that whatsoever. Oh, wow. Just looked. Ashton, Karina, Patricia, Valerie, welcome. Feel free to turn on your mic anytime you want. If you have any questions, need me to repeat something, or need further clarification as we go forward. So going back to the, okay, let's go to the syllabus, and then I'll get to the start here things right here. So yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is definitely not my phone number, certainly not my email for South Texas College. I pay attention to Pronto, and I catch up on my emails typically from colleagues or my chair or whatever. It's not reserved for my students at all. If you email me there, if I see the message, I'll get back to you, but you might not get a response back to me for 3 or 4 days, which is not what's supposed to happen. So use Pronto. And calling me, I'm in and out of my office all of the time. And so I'm not consistently there. So the best way to get a hold of me is in Pronto. If we need to, if we need to talk, certainly we can do it on Pronto, right? We can open up a video stream. You don't have to be on camera. We can just talk like it's a phone call, right? Okay, so pretty straightforward, right? There's 5 units. Each of the units, all of the assignments in there collectively are 20%, right? Units, 20 times 5 is 100%. So keep that in mind going forward. To advance to the next unit, and to make sure that this makes sense to you all, let's go back to the course. Oh, were you guys seeing? Oh, you guys share this tab instead. Okay, there we go. So I was referring to this part of the syllabus right here, the units 1. I forgot that it doesn't follow me when I switch from tabs to tabs. I have to click this thing over here. Okay, so 20%, there's 5 units, right? And then, yeah, really grok this right here. And my general advice with these units is strive for 70% and then move on to the next unit. So you build up some of this momentum to carry you forward. You can always go back at any point in the semester and make it a point, right? Don't just say to yourself, oh, I'll go back when I have time. Say, no, I'm going to go back to unit 1 in a week and a half on this date during this time to complete this assignment, right? Write it down, go back to get your grade above a 70%. But the minimum is 60% to move on. Let's see, it sounds like I got Ashton. Question, you mentioned we don't have to do every single thing in those folders. Can you elaborate? You have to do every single thing, Ashton. What are you talking about? No, you're absolutely right. And yeah, you stole my thunder here. I was about to explain that. So make sure these are the units. Unit 1, Reconstruction in the West. Unit 2, Industrialization and Immigration. Unit 3, World War I, the Progressive Era. Actually, what am I doing there? Progressive era in World War I, just to keep I'll change that. That's progressive era came before World War I. Anyway, 1920s and the Great Depression. I'm glad I got that straight. The 1920s is this time when the economy was really unhealthy and it exploded in the 1930s with the Great Depression. And the Cold War is what World War I and the Cold War is what we'll conclude with. You're just laughing. Okay, good. Yeah. And definitely I was kidding, right? Okay, so yeah, and so what Ashton is getting at here is there are a number of assignments here, and you don't have to do every single assignment, one, to get a 60%, certainly, 70%, 80, and even a 90%, right? And so really focus on this. It really pays to take the time. I mean, you do want to have a kind of a sense of urgency with this since it's a mini-mester, but when you are preparing, take the time to write notes down when you're watching videos or reading a text, individuals. If you see a quote that says, oh, this quote really helps me respond to the prompt that I'm developing a response to, right? Take the time to do that, because if you don't and you're consistently getting 50s or 60s, even 70%, what that is going to mean is you are going to spend more time per unit and having to do more of these assignments, perhaps all of the assignments, to get to the necessary 60% or a little bit above that, right? Does that make sense? Let me know if that doesn't make sense, right? So this is where kind of the idea haste makes waste, you know? So let me know if you need some more clarification on that. But that, yeah, and kind of think that way for each unit. Let's see what else here. So yeah, the assignments. Right here, every unit will have video quizzes. So you open this up. If you haven't done this, let me back up just a little bit. So to begin this course, do the introductory history videos, watch these 3 videos. These are all from an account called Edpuzzle, a platform called Edpuzzle. And so if you haven't done this yet, what it's going to do is prompt you just to create an account, right? And you don't need a class code for this. At least I've been using this for some time now, and no student has ever said that they needed a code. So if you were, basically it was on my end. I didn't upload these first 3 videos properly, and that might happen every once in a while. Just let me know and I'll upload them as quickly as possible. But you're going to watch this, Why is History Important to Learn? There's a guy named Hip Hughes. He's kind of a nerdy kind of guy, but fun to watch. He's just going to explain from his point of view why he thinks history is important to learn. This right here, primary and secondary sources. Right, he's going to explain that. To cut to the chase, what is a primary source? What is a secondary source? A primary source is an artifact from the time period in which you're studying, which could be a journal entry, a newspaper, right? A law, just something from the time period. And those are basically the components that historians use to write textbooks or history books or documentaries or lectures, right? So a lot of what I provide are secondary sources. So secondary sources are just that: textbooks, documentaries, lectures, that kind of a thing. Okay. Oh, you're probably share this tab instead. Yeah, is that what let me look at the chat real quick. I bet you I know what you guys are saying. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me know if I'm talking about something that you're not seeing, because I keep forgetting to click these little buttons up here, because it just doesn't, in Pronto, it just doesn't change it automatically, where in Zoom it does. Okay. Oh, I honestly thought it was me. Yeah, sorry about that, Valeria. No, it wasn't you. But thanks for getting a hold of me. So I was trying, that helped me figure out, okay, there's something wrong here. Okay, so yeah, complete these quizzes here. This is just a great overview to explain where you're going for a good part of this course, about half of this course, really. So it's kind of helpful to know where you're going, to give this broad kind of narrative of where you're going. Once you do that, you earn a 60% average for all 3 of these videos. Then all of the units will become, unit 1 will become available to you, and all of these assignments will become available to you, right? So as soon as that is available to you, begin doing the video quizzes. There's a number of them here. Generally, they're 1 point each, so keep that in mind. One of them is worth 20 points, right? But if you look here, the quiz, this is going to be worth 15 points, and this one's worth 50 points. So collectively, This is 30 points. That's incorrect. I'll change that while I'm talking right now. So keep that in mind. If you want to strategize and to build up some momentum, kind of hit the assignments that are worth more points, and that'll build up some momentum, and then you can go back to the lower, if necessary, the lower point assignments. So this here is, yeah, so this is the textbook is online, chapter 15. This is basically an audiobook on YouTube. You can listen to that. There's questions that are quiz questions that are embedded there. So keep that in mind going forward, right? And that one is worth 50 points, right? This one, unit 1, this is dealing with the West. These are some more video quizzes. Here's a documentary and another documentary. I think I might add a reconstruction documentary. A reconstruction documentary should be included here. So understand sometimes I'll add more assignments and that might mess with your totals. Yeah, there's a couple assignments missing here, so I'll add those as soon as I'm able to. Now, do keep these dates in mind. By March 8th, if you don't earn a 60%, right? And I don't think any of you are going to do that, right? You wouldn't have signed up for a course if you're not going to earn a 60% within a couple of weeks. That's fast, but you guys enrolled in a mini-mester, not me, right? So this is on you. But in all seriousness, you just have to. Here's what you need to do. And do this for all of your courses. I know it sounds like it takes a lot of time to set this up, but again, it will save you time because you're working in a deliberate way with this intention, right? Sit down and in a spreadsheet almost really examine all of your obligations on a weekly basis to the best of your ability, right? So if you're a parent, which I understand, and I was a parent when I went to school. It's difficult, right? When do I have to pick my kid up in school? When do I have to go to their games, right? So, we just were at a game. If you have church activities, if you got things to do on the weekend, right? Include all your classes in that schedule, right? If you got work, include that, and then see where you have pockets of time, right? And fill those pockets of time of where you can dedicate 30 minutes, even 15 minutes, right? Ideally 30 minutes, 45 minutes to no more than 90 minutes per class throughout the week, a couple of times in those increments, whatever you're able to do throughout the week. It's incredibly important. If you have a mindset of, oh, I will do this when I'm able to, that's where everything kind of falls down on you. I know it sounds like it takes a lot of time to set this up. It will save you a lot of stress developing into anxiety. You don't want that to happen. Stress is normal, right? It's part of, you can think of it as the stress of lifting heavy weights to build muscles. That's why you're doing it. Well, you could think of this content as weights, and you're building muscles inside of in your brain, right? And you will, right? I'm not expecting anyone to memorize anything there. This is not a memorization course, but you will become familiar with some of the major concepts that are of great importance when it comes to U.S. history, particularly the last part of U.S. history. A lot of the stuff you're going to be able to relate to. Sorry if my washing machine is interfering here, but it'll stop in just a little bit. It's on the spin cycle. Okay. So do take the time to write down these dates, put them in your calendar. If you've got an app set up to give you reminders, because I will hold you to this, right? You've got to earn a 60% or higher by March 8th. And then here's this date right here. Here's this date right here, right? 60% necessary. What the heck? Okay, fix that in a little bit, but April 26th, and then by the end of the semester, unit 5, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions about that whatsoever? Let me know. Other than that, I think that's about it. I don't want to hold anybody longer than I need to. I know your time is precious and valuable, but just let me, just to conclude. Oh, it looks like I do have a question. Let's see. Very clear, thanks. Okay, thanks, Patricia, I appreciate that. Let me know if it's not clear in any way, or if it's clear and you just need some clarification because you might have, because my washing machine is going off here and you might have not heard it correctly, or you just want to make sure you heard it correctly. Okay. Yeah, just understand, I realize you guys are all worth this, worth the success, the effort that you're going to put into this course. And it is going to be some effort, right? I've done what I could to take away some of the hard edges so it's not setting you up for failure, right? So this, right, if you were in my normal semester class, there would be more expectations, but I'm trying to make this so it's still a challenge. You're still going to get familiar with these major concepts and issues dealing with U.S. history, but it will be manageable if you do this on a regular basis, and that's key, right? But you guys are worth it. Real quick, since you guys are all here, I will be announcing a very significant extra credit opportunity that will be this Friday, basically. We'll be going over a concept called growth mindset. I won't go into it now, but what I will say, what this talk is, it's going to be with a professor. Some of you might have had her, Dr. Lydia Bean from education. This is her thing, the growth mindset. And basically it's an attitude that recognizes the importance of effort, not essential like ideas of if I'm smart enough or not smart enough, right? That's nonsense, right? This is all about effort, right? And the growth mindset really gets into how important that is, as opposed to thinking that there is something essential to an individual when successful or not successful to college, right? Has nothing to do with that, right? If you see somebody who is earning A's in a seamless way, what you're not seeing is the work that that person is putting in when they're at home, right? I know we're all online, but think about being in a classroom, right? The students that are earning A's aren't just doing that because they're special people and they're magical. They're putting in the work, right? And that comes out projected as intelligence, but really what that intelligence is a symbol for the effort that they put in, right? And you all can do that. So this should be a great talk. I'll announce it. There will be significant extra credit. So this will be a great way of developing momentum. One last thing, there's the potential of earning over 100% per unit, and that's just extra credit, right? So keep that in mind. That helps build momentum as well. So I'll let you guys go unless there's any last minute questions. I can stay as long as anybody needs me to. So let me know if there's some questions. Other than that, I'll have this recorded if you want to review this.